Welcome to Unlocking Las Vegas with your favorite redhead realtor, Erin Pearson Mills. We're going to be covering the greater areas of Las Vegas all the way to Pahrump and Mesquite, talking about trends, events, sports, and more. I'm super excited to welcome all of our guests this year and have a great time, which is everything Unlocking Las Vegas. Welcome back to another episode of Unlocking Las Vegas with your favorite Ginger Power Hour. Erin Pearson Mills, your favorite redhead realtor, and
Joshua Nieves with Merit Lending.
I like it. So I had to do this networking event the other day, and we're getting to know each other, which I think is fun. We kind of like bonded immediately, but in a room of realtors to like stand up and introduce yourself and what's your favorite band or singer. And I was like, oh, I hate that question because I was a wedding DJ for 11 years. I was really into music. And so I had to think about it, and I was like, you mean like this hour today?
Yeah, like this moment, like how do I feel right now? Am I driving to work? Am I driving home?
I was raised with my grandparents. I like, Frank Sinatra, but it's like my vibe right now is the Thievery Corporation. Like, have you ever heard of them?
Absolutely. Okay. Big fan favorite of me and my wife's. That's it's just amazing.
Like, it's a vibe. And so, everybody's like, Lady Gaga, like Queen. What would be yours for the moment?
Mine for the moment, that's a very hard one. I'm into a few different directions of music, so
because it depends on.
It's hard to say. I'm a big Odessa fan. If I can see Odessa live, that's really my jam. They are one of the most incredible music groups I think I've ever heard or seen. They're actually coming out with their live album at the end of this month, so I'm kind of excited about that. And I'm going to see them next month. So. But Jungle's been a big, heavy rotation, just great kind of 70s riff band. We've got a little bit of some 80s rotation going on. I love those 80s 100%. Classics. Yeah.
What type of kid were you in high school? Like, what was your genre in high school?
Oh, that's easy. Like gangster rap.
Gangster rap. Okay.
Little Tupac, little Notorious, little Wu-Tang Clan, little Method.
I was the sweet spot of like the grunge kid. So we were like Pearl Jam, Blur, Smiths, The Cure. And then my husband's just 3 years older and he's like hair bands. Like we don't listen to the same music like ever.
Okay. I kind of spiraled into rock and a little punk and then kind of went into like music. House music was a really big part of my life. So
I like it.
I listen to all of it. I can listen to pretty much every genre and enjoy it. I really, Frank Sinatra, you mentioned that. Yes. He's a big part of my life, being born and raised in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. I Did It My Way is just like, such a great song. So I have to say Frank Sinatra's
in my wedding venue, like, legend. Being in Vegas, I would always thread like the Rat Pack and the goodness, like through the cocktail hour, but we can go off about that. But I love you because we both have two separate ages of children. So my kids are about 9 years apart. So I've got a married 24-year-old. I've got the 15-year-old. And you've got older kids and a 4-year-old?
Yeah, 27, 26, and 4. And I've got two grandbabies that are, my granddaughter's 30 days younger than my last daughter, and a 2-year-old grandson.
That's fun. Okay, so
they're not a busy household for the last 5 years. They're not quite school
age, but happy first day of summer for CCSD parents.
Summer vacation, yay. And congratulations, all of you kids that made it through. If you're watching the show or you hear your parents watching it, you guys did a great job this year. Hopefully you got good grades, and you guys are going to recharge this summer to go take on next year.
Yeah, I'm a booster club mom. So I have a freshman, but I did the senior sunset. I did senior breakfast. And it was funny, chatting with them as they're going through the buffet line. Are you excited? They're like, half were super excited, half were scared out of their minds, and half were just like, I'm so nervous. And I was like, oh, I'm trying to remember that. I don't think I was ever nervous. I'm like, yes, next. Yes, college. Yes, next. It was a big emotional.
And so what do you do as a
state.
booster mom? Like, you support the foundation of your kids' sports program?
In high school.
What's
so it's an old school thing. I think it used to be like, Ferris, what are the other words for booster mom? It's like the PTA. PTA. Okay, there you go. So we support the teacher staff and like whatever they need to do. So we do like, coffee carts and teacher breakfasts, but then I'm the football mom. So then I'm there for the football team, donating the water and, serving up those nachos.
I love that. We just had a Teacher Appreciation Day actually over at the preschool that my daughter goes to. We got to kind of put together a bucket, and they had their wish list, and it was like we checked a couple of theirs, and then they had like what they wanted for the classroom, and we just like loaded them up. And the teachers were just like, wow, like you like went overboard. And it's like, why not go overboard? You guys are here for us. So
I'm not creative. Like I'm not
I'd
that
love to hear
mom
that.
that's like going to put together stuff. I'm like, here's a hundo. Like that. I would like, you know what I'm saying? So
I put together the basket. I went and got
tell
it
my
all.
teachers.
I was the creative dad that put together a beautiful basket.
I'm left brained. And so I'm like, whatever you need, just text me. And so they're like, I need 8 calculators. I'm all Amazon done. Okay. That's my giving is like
quick and easy. Let's get it done.
I'm not creative.
Results.
But yeah, just make everybody happy. But me and my son, so he's football, like massive football. He might even go varsity this year as a sophomore, big kid. So we're on like a whole summer workout thing. I hate working out. I don't like it at all. I'm always like to be pretty. I don't like to sweat and the eyelashes and the hair and the whole thing. And we live in Vegas.
So is the workout plan based with nutrition as well? So he can like powerhouse this year?
Yeah.
Because I think nutrition is like way more important than even like
100%. Like if you're trying to lose weight, it's 80% diet, 20% exercise, which I was always really happy about because I can diet, the crap out of myself healthily. So we're getting up at 4 a.m. I wake him up at 5. I walk the dogs first, then we head to the park. He has to run a mile.
Champion.
And stretch it out and stuff like that. And I'm just doing my walking. And we live in Vegas, so it's got to be really early. So he got up with me 5 a.m. first day of summer.
I love that. That's a champion spirit.
Because you can't do it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And it's the sacrifices you make now, when everybody else is sleeping in, that's what's going to get you to the next level. I got to listen to a high level speaker the other day that actually won an NCAA double championship. And he sat there and said, he gave up his sophomore summer. Mm-hmm. He passed up the parties. He passed up the extras. He was in the gym 2-3 times a day.
Yep.
But he also brought it down to nutrition and being, even on the go as we are, and you're always in demand and the pressure, you have to lead with that nutrition because it's going to leave you exhausted if you don't. And that's something I think is great to instill with the kids as well.
Meal planning. I told him today, I said, all right, you make your grocery list because you're at home with the dogs. We're out working. So you make your grocery list and you tell me what you're going to want me to pick up for you to cook and create. So, getting those values right away, like learn how to cook. I don't understand the people that tell me they don't know how to cook. I'm all, there's Pinterest, there's YouTube, there's TV shows. No, that's not my thing.
Not your thing.
Not my thing. So anyway, I'm trying to discover parks. I live in the Southwest, so Enterprise, we've got Western Trails Park, but I don't like to wave at people and smile and how you doing every time I go around the track. So I had to find a bigger park. So I went to the Exploration Park at Mountain's Edge. Love that one.
Amazing.
So many things for kids, huge grassy areas, splash pads. And then you can actually trek up the mountain onto 2 levels.
See the compass? I love that.
Yes.
Beautiful up there.
So what's your favorite
part? What do they call
part?
that again? A key, I think? Or what do they call that?
I don't know.
I'll have to get back to that.
We used to call that mountain something when I was in high school, but I can't repeat it. I can't repeat it. So
my favorite park lately, honestly, Fox Hill Park over in the Southwest off of Summerlin. It's been amazing for my 4-year-old. Great family setting. Great for my dog, my husky. He loves it. You've got some zip lines. I think they have a splash pad. They've got amazing slides.
Lines?
Yes, they've got little zip lines for the kids to slide on.
Okay, I like that.
To ride on.
I'm sure there's a weight limit, so I'm sure that Rocco could knock it on there.
I got on it.
He's pushing 240.
I got on it. I was pretty solid. I don't know.
You don't look 240 though.
No, I'm not 240. And he's got about 40 pounds on me, but yeah, absolutely.
He's a big kid. He just hit 6'1.5".
Awesome. And he's 16, 15? Wow.
It's very exciting.
So,
okay,
if you guys have not been to Fox Hill Park, I really suggest, grabbing some water, grabbing some snacks and heading over there. It's worth the drive and it's definitely something to experience and a great atmosphere. They have a good walking trail as well.
I like that. Okay, I'm gonna hit multitudes of parks this summer. So when I don't have classes until a little bit later, I will do the drive. But all right, so I want to talk about what is going on in the loan world. Just let me preface this by saying, because I know people listen to it everywhere, okay? So I don't like to say it's a seller's market, buyer's market, but all I have to say is that we have less than 2 months worth of inventory right now. We are so low on inventory. And so all of my listings are going quite quickly, because they're all in the 420 range.
Yep.
So what do we have for our younger buyers?
High rates are our best friends right now.
Thank you for saying that.
When they drop the rates, they just dropped the rates down like a half a point last week. It was great. That's 3 million people that can come into the market now. So now we have a supply and demand issue, and now 3 more million people that could not buy or were waiting to buy now are like, I'm going to take the plunge. And meantime, while people are waiting for the rates to drop and their competition to double, triple, 10 times itself.
They're wasting money on rent.
Yep. we're continuing to have a housing shortage. And so we're continuing to have more housing formations. We're having some of the largest housing formations ever, mainly because of a law that was passed many years ago, Roe versus Wade. That
break down formations for everybody.
Housing formations, when somebody leaves their home living with the parents. So when your child at 15 decides that he's going to go and live on his own and create a family or house and have his own household. And so that would be a housing formation. So when the child leaves the nest, when the eagle leaves the nest.
Any day.
Okay,
no, I'm kidding.
You're out of here. No. And so those housing formations are happening at rapid pace right now because of the birth rate that happened back in the late 80s. And we're going to see this birth rate actually continue to increase for the next 5 years. And so the average homeowner right now, buying homeowner age is 33. So they say about 25 to 37 is like the biggest range of home buyers that are in the market. And those population numbers are tremendous right now.
Okay.
And so we do see a little bit of a decline in the late 90s and early 90s on the birth rate, which there was a big push. A lot of clinics opened up that were available for certain things, I'll stay off the topic of today. But these are just factual. And so what we're seeing is that supply and demand. And so today's market, we've seen the property values continue to increase, even though the rates have been high. And so when you drop down a full point, that's going to bring 5 to 7 million people in nationally. When you drop down 2 points, that's 18 to 21 more million people that could not buy or were waiting to buy that are going to get
survive on
the market to buy. Yes, you'll be working 6-7 days a week. And then now we've got some great news to bring to the market. I'm really excited. Last week, I found out on Thursday that we are bringing back 100% financing. That is zero down payment up to $500,000 live in the market right now. It is a 97% down conventional loan.
Okay.
If you're in the area medium income limits, you can go down to a 620 credit score. If you exceed that area income limit, great news, there's no income cap. Wow. You can actually just have to have a 700 FICO score. So you're required to have just a little bit more disciplined credit. However, it's a 97% loan to value first mortgage, 30-year fixed conventional loan with a silent second 3%. So it's up to $15,000 of down payment on $500,000 purchase price.
Okay.
And that's available in the market today. You just have to pay back that 3% when you either sell the house or refinance it.
I was going to say, there's no 2 payments there. It's just like a little cloud that follows
just a little cloud that gives you the boost. That's actually available through one of my biggest partners and best partners, UWM. Matt Ishbia, the owner of UWM, has said that he wants homeownership to be expanded, and he is bringing this down payment market to the market himself and financing that. So we're really blessed to have somebody that's supporting the finance market like this. And we have this available in Clark County and nationwide. If you're looking to find a lender that can offer this, contact me, contact Erin. We'll get you connected to the right people.
Yeah, I have best friends in every city and state.
Yes, and I have best friend lenders, or I'm sure your lenders are working with my best friend lenders. So this program is going to really change. That
$15,000, it stays at $15,000. It doesn't accrue interest over time. Like in 30 years, is it still
0% interest, $15,000? You can keep it 30 years and never refi. We will probably end up, getting that paid off and lowering the rate for people in the near future as rates continue to drop.
Yes.
But they're going to build equity. I mean, the average value boost, they're going to say anywhere from 4 to 8% online. I've seen 9 to 14% gains in the last year on houses in our valley. Mm-hmm. And so, that's tremendous when you come into, a house, $400,000 house. You came in and, got your closing costs paid by the seller, possibly a little bit, or, paid your own closing costs, but financed without zero down, saved $12,000 out of your pocket. And now a year later, you're looking at $35,000 to $45,000 of equity. That's huge.
Well, and if the seller has priced the home right, okay, so I got several offers on mine. It was $400,000, okay? And so it was a multiple offer situation. I asked them, what's your highest and best? And so this one, it's a VA, and we're very soft-hearted when it comes to veterans. And they kept raising it, because I priced it low so people could have that, wiggle room. And they kept asking for $4,000. And so they were using their earnest money for their closing costs, and they're buying the rate down with this. So the thing is that you have that option because what is it? Every $50,000 is like another $50, or over $100,000 is $50, or 10,000. I'm saying it wrong.
10,000 is 60, 65. I say every 50,000 is about 300 right now in the market.
Yeah. So the thing is that there could be so many different scenarios for every person. They're like, well, so how much down and what would my payment be? Yo, listen, everybody is so different. It's like you have to be with somebody like you to work it out 8 different ways to be like, here's our different options. What sounds best for you?
Absolutely. We have lots of options, lots of great programs, and I'm always looking at what the best financing direction is for people.
For that individual.
Mainly we're getting people, a 30-year fixed loan that's safe. We're getting them into a home that they're going to build equity on. We know that the mortgage rates are going to drop. I mean, it's been all over the news. It's been all over the writing on the wall of the statistics.
It's election year.
And, if I was going to say, I think, they talk about inflation. They're going to have the CPI report come out. It drops the April report. We're probably going to see, inflation at like a 2.7. They wanted a 2.0. If it's dropping, 0.25 a quarter a month, we're probably going to see that September range when we really see a dip in rates. So it's like,
a minute before the election.
And the people that are waiting right now for that, the people that buy now, they're going to come back in January, February, and they're going to get a rate reduction on their property.
Yeah.
And they're going to have less competition and buy a better home. Now, people that come in the market in September per se, when the rate drops, you're going to see, 6, 7 offers on a house, 10 offers. Now all of a sudden it's like, hey, how much can we bid over asking price? When do you recoup this?
And draining your savings account, which is
now
terrible.
We have to play ball with can you pay over an appraisal value?
Or beat California cash.
And so really, I think the zero down payment program that just came out is really something to take advantage of now.
And what should be your credit score?
June to September will be the easiest. I mean, if you're underneath, I think it's 84,000, and we can double check that in Clark County. It's going to be 620. With an approved eligible through Fannie Mae. If you are looking at the other side of making more than that, then you have to be at a 700. And then you just have to have the approved eligible.
And let's break this down. So I'm helping some friends do some rentals, and it just I almost fall over because I have to let them know what the qualifying, the agent notes say. It's always 3 times the amount of rent. So if you're looking at $2,000, you have to make $6,000 a month. What is that per year? Break that down for me. And they want you to have 690 credit score and above. So I had this, this cute couple, and I looked at him and I was like, can we talk about buying versus renting? You're so young. And so let's sit down and really have a conversation. Let's go to lunch. I was like, you have to actually put down $7,000 to get into this rental. That is insane. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
and how much was the monthly rent?
$2,000. Okay. And it was terrible. And I was like, listen, you don't know to say no if you don't know. So let's have a conversation with somebody and break it down and, get on a path. That's just my only thing is that the rental race just shocks me every single time.
Yeah. And something I look at, if you were looking at that, let's say you were going to put down, buy something at 300,000 townhome range, because you're trying to keep your payment around that range. And your budget was $2,000, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't have a down payment, or you have just enough for the $7,000 to cover the closing. Well, that's $9,000 that you would need to get into that house.
Yes, a rental.
So even if your payment for this house for the next 2 years, right, was, $400 more a month. Mm-hmm. So let's say it was $2,400 or $2,600.
Worst case scenario for $300, yeah.
That's you paying off your down payment that you didn't have that over the 2-year period. Now you're 2 years into the house and you're sitting on 25% equity. That's huge. And so that's the value. I sell the wealth gain. I understand rates are high. I understand values are continuing to grow and climb. And I think they're going to continue to climb. I think that real estate's going to double in a lot of areas across the nation over the next 10 years. And I think we have 9 years left of that. And I think it's going to triple in some areas like, i.e. Las Vegas. I really believe we're going to see 185% gains. And we saw that last year. Yeah. And so I only need 171% more to be on track. So
true. But I always say, drive till you can afford it, because I'm huge in Mesquite. I'm huge in Pahrump. I love Pahrump. You can get so much there for so little. So if the 45-minute commute doesn't bother you to get so much more for your money, drive till you can afford it.
Yep. And if you're saving for a home, stop saving. come use the 100% program and take the rest of that savings that you were going to save $400 a month on or $250 a month on, and realize that to build that into your payment and afford it to get home. Because when it's time that you finally save that money, that house that you can afford today, you will not be able to afford tomorrow. And I really am a strong believer of that. I want to lay that out there to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm really committed to helping everybody get home. I want to see everybody in Las Vegas be homeowners, not renters.
0%
and everybody
guys.
across the nation. I mean, if you are working and you are paying rent, and you're paying over $2,000 a month, or even $2,500 a month or plus.
I've seen that.
Through $3,200 a month, I see for some 4 bedrooms on houses here. You guys can afford to own, and that's the message I want to get out to your people, the world. It's really important to me to let people know that brokers are here to help. Avoid the banks. Go to the local brokers. You can find us on mortgagematchup.com, mortgagematchup.com. You're going to see a lot of us on NBA TV, WNBA TV, because we just signed an official marketing agreement with them, the first ever. And so, again, Matt Ishbia, UWM, is really committed to making sure that we are getting the best sources of financing out to the consumer. The average consumer that uses us is saving anywhere from $7,000 to $9,600, and that's been documented. So thank you, Erin, for having me out here today to share this.
We're full-time professionals. We are full-time professionals, and we are 2 people that don't have the quote-unquote commission breath. So if it's not a right time for you, if it's not, the numbers don't work out, we're going to put you on a path to eventually down the road. I just like you to say no before you know, right?
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
The questions are always welcome, because we might surprise the heck out of you. So let's repeat that again. You're going to contact either one of us if you have 0 down, guys, 0 down. And I'm the shark negotiator, so I can probably get all your closing costs covered. Let's be perfectly honest.
Okay.
I'll even throw in that home warranty for you. Let me pay for that for you, because everybody's like, oh, well, what if something breaks? I can just call the super, no. And I've got fantastic handymans. Okay.
And if you're 580 to 619, don't quit. Don't give up. Call us. We can get you on a buy a house diet. We talked about fitness in the beginning of this, how you're working hard with your kid. Let's get people on a buy a house diet. You just got to sometimes do a couple things. Stop, keeping the credit cards fat, like the chocolate ice cream on the couch. You got to trim them down.
He could be your mortgage trainer.
And that's I love to help people with credit.
#mortgage trainer.
And get you there. Thank you for that. My goal is to get you fit, get you ready, to get you loan ready, and get you home. And so it takes a village to help people, and it takes just a couple of tweaks on your credit sometimes to get those scores up above a 620 if you're not there, and then you get to get home. And that's a big deal.
With the Ginger Power.
Ginger Power Hour.
Who are the most direct, focused, and amazing people on the planet. And you know what? If you don't like the word ginger, I'm sorry, we embrace it. But
we've got the energy to get you home. So count on us, call us, and let's get some results. Let's help you guys.
All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to do this again with you.
So excited to help people before those rates drop. Think about that. Have a great day, you guys.
Let's go.